Trust! Who you gonna trust? Welcome back to Fog Entertainment, and here we are looking at poor Tommy Egan. He's awoken by a big German Shepherd. That is episode 8 of season 3, by the way, and this one is called Trust Me. Milan has a big German Shepherd. And he lets Tommy go. Bit of a weird one. Tommy, you're a wanted man. Then Lobos is like right-hand man, I guess, so to speak. Goes to a top FBI man. He's like, oh, we can never meet again. Then he threatens the FBI man's family and whatever. I mean, this guy's been the FBI guy since season 1. I have no idea what his fucking name is. Kind of a bit awkward. Then Tommy and Ghost are like, right, well, you know what? We need to go get that contact. It's exactly what we need to do, or else things aren't going to happen. Angela is then looking for like proof of that Ghost left the thing. The apartment, the hotel complex, whatever you want to call it, man. Sax and Greg are then kind of discussing about who the hell's the rat. We've got Diaz in there as well. He comes in, he's sat down, so it looks like Diaz's deal is pulled. Now, I don't get this right. So Diaz's deal is completely pulled, and now all of a sudden he's what? He's allowed to go back to his crew. Like, how would this not be like? How would this not be on the street? Because like a lot of people know. I think it's ridiculous he's able to walk back to his crew, considering the fact like he's been AWOL for a decent period. Ghost and Tommy then confront the cartel guy. Once he starts taunting Tommy about Holly and the dog, Tommy drops him. Of course, they wanted to interrogate him for information to find out who the inside contact is, but now they'll never know because it's a very rich town. Yeah. James St. Patrick, big ghosty boy. He's then interrogated by the main woman. Don't even know her name. Honestly, I think I've got to do a better job in part of like learning people's names, or maybe I've got to do a better job in part of learning people's names. Greg then sits down with Medina. Medina's like, here, I don't want you coming back unless you've got tangible information. Then Jackie Aprile Jr. returns out of nowhere, and Ghost and him are talking, and obviously there was like a large, I mean, it was focusing a lot on the cigarettes that Milan was smoking, and Ghost is going to try and bring Milan down by that, by finding out where he gets these illegal cigarettes from, and there'll be a big crack job. Aye, that's the one. That's the one we're looking for. Tasha is confronted by Angela. Angela's like, I know you're Ghost alibi, but who was Tommy? And he's like, it was his mother. And then quickly, like just like clockwork, they come together with this cover story, all of them. But it turns out Angela actually wants Tommy to be covered, and it's the whole reason why she did this, which I thought was kind of funny. Trey is then shooting some hoops with Tariq, and guess what happens? Karen shows up and they start shooting hoops together. Bit messed up. He's asking all these like questions, and they're speaking about Sean, which I thought was quite interesting. And I'm like, right, so how's this going to go down? They've killed Sean. Sean's dead. Sean is dead. He's killed Sean, and Trey's just sitting there letting this happen. And I actually enjoyed these scenes though between Kenan and Tariq. I did. We then cut back to Truth. Milan speaks to Ghost. He's like, there's a meeting downstairs sort of thing. And Ghost can't believe that he's brought all the hard hitters to the club. And then he kills the top Chinese man. And it's like, damn, it's like, I know you had something to do with the murder of my son. But then he gets killed. But then Tommy explains that we're all pushing these pills now, whether you like it or not. We've got, Ruiz is back in his prime position. We've got the priest. Ghost is sitting there looking at Milan. Milan's sitting smirking away. So how's this going to go down, man? Milan then confronts Tasha at the hairdressing place, and it does not look good here because Tanisha overhears this entire conversation and she freaks out at Tasha. And you know what? Fair play to Milan. Here he is threatening Tasha to her face. So how's this going to go down? Who knows? Greg is again confronts Angela. Is like Angela trying to prove that she's not had anything to do with this. Top man's waiting on the cartel guy with the payment and the $20,000 in order to get him out of the country. But of course, that's irrelevant because Tommy has dropped him. Tommy's absolutely dropped him. Ghost then came home drunk. He crashes on Tasha's couch, even though I guess you could say it actually is his couch at the end of the day. But who really knows at this stage of the game? Whose house is wet? Boom, 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 I want you in the room. But then he comes back. He's sitting there. He's like, yeah, man, I was being drunk. I was in the bar. I was trying to get some information on Milan, man. On Milan. Ghost then goes to Ruiz, and they kind of like, I say squash their beef at the end of the day. Like, he's the one that's fucking kept him alive at the end of the day. So I don't really understand what Ruiz's point. I mean, Ghost knows that Ruiz was on the verge of making a big fucking deal against Lobos, and now all that's came fucking crashing down. So yeah, and then also like the whole gimmick that the only thing you can tie Ruiz to is the murder of Nomar, you know. And yeah, the guy was sleeping with Ruiz's daughter, but they kind of made it like because he was sleeping with a 14-year-old, no jury's going to find you or whatever. Which I understand. I'm not saying Ruiz should go to jail for that, but I mean we've seen it many times that even if it's the right justice, it doesn't always you know go that way. But Tasha Milan text Tommy to take care of Tanisha. So what's going to happen there? Milan wants her dead in case she's found out too much. So yeah, absolutely insane. Is Tommy going to kill her? I'm not too convinced Tommy's going to kill her, to be honest. Tariq then gets confronted by Kenan. Kenan takes him back to his house, shows him like the neighborhood that they all used to grow up in. Basically painting his dad in a bad picture, even though I wouldn't say Ghost is the greatest guy pretending who he is. You've got Kenan walking about fucking drinking vodka in the open, which I thought's quite funny. And then he takes Tariq into the apartment, and I'm sitting here thinking, he's actually going to fucking drop him. He's going to actually drop Tariq, but he doesn't. After Tariq says, I fucking hate him. And then obviously, but realistically, right, what does Kenan think he can do? How's he going to use Tariq against his father? His best bet's Trey, so I don't understand the logic here of taking Tariq. But it was mentally he was going to fucking drop him here. Then we have Tasha pulls up to Tanisha's place, gives her 500,000, she leaves, and then as soon as that happens, Tommy reappears. So fuck knows what's happened there. Angela then is confronted by Ghost. Turns out she's wearing a wire this entire time. How is that gonna go? And meanwhile, as Ghost is continuing like his investigation into Milan with the whole cigarette stuff, Angela pays Greg a visit. These two end up banging, and it turns out, like I thought, maybe they're back to being lovers, but no, Greg looks like he's just using her. He texts Medina at the end, and then again, I'll tell you what, fucking Angela loves getting pumped in this show. And as Ghost follows the bartender to the location, he sees Tommy arriving at the location speaking to Milan, so he's like, I don't know if I can trust Tommy anymore. How many times are we going to go down this route of Tommy and Ghost not being able to trust each other? I mean, come on, man. Come on. Anyway, guys, leave your thoughts down below. I think this was a bit weaker than the last few episodes, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was bad. Of course, all that means is things were questionable this episode. I think I'm intrigued. Now, we don't actually know if Tanisha is dead or anything yet, but I doubt Tommy would have killed her, if I'm being brutally honest. Brutally honest, guys. But anyway, leave your thoughts down below. It's a 7 out of 10 for me. Peace.